Yeah. Number 3, move it till after the bowl games.
Yes.
Because, and look, I know that they want it. There was a time where it made sense to have it before the bowl games because it helped you promote what were very few bowl games. But now there's so many bowl games and the college playoff. I'll call this the Vince Young, Reggie Bush rule. Because Reggie Bush won the Heisman, and he was very deserving of it. But Vince Young was also very deserving of the award that same year. And had you waited until after those two guys played, then Vince Young would have won it and not Reggie Bush.
You would think that still, Bush was still electric, but you would think that would have, it should have changed some of those who maybe didn't even vote Vince Young second. Because it wasn't that much of a given either.
Here's the thing about the Heisman. It says nothing about the regular season. As far as I know, like if there's a mission statement that they have out there that mentions the best regular season player in college football, then I'll gladly be wrong. But based on everything, it does not specify this is a regular season award. And why would you want a regular season award anyways? Why, if you're the granddaddy of awards, why would you only focus on the regular season? It makes no sense that they do it before the bowl games to me, and it hasn't for many years now.
Remember back early on, Jay Burwanger, whatever, there's some teams that didn't play in bowl games. There was 10 games, and that was it. And so things change, and you should change with time, and sometimes there are certain things they don't do.
Yeah, and that was a long time ago.
Like Notre Dame didn't play in bowl games for a while. Remember? They didn't play like in the 60s.
But you're right. It's stupid that we're going into a national championship game and it's Bryce Young's already won the Heisman, but yet there's a guy across from him who could, with a better performance, could win the national title, like splitting hairs, could put his team over the top. Bryce Young could be awful, but Bryce Young's still your Heisman. It makes no effing sense. That makes no sense whatsoever. None.
Watch list for this year. This is not the watch list, but it would have been pretty close to it. Spencer Rattler, where's he at?
Transfer portal.
Ukulele.
He had a very average year.
Sam Howell.
His team was not good.
Bryce Young.
Okay.
Matt Corral, very much involved. Yeah. De'Ara King.
Injured.
Bijan Robinson.
May have been on the list. He's not been
ran out of gas. He was injured. Yep. Yeah. Hell of a player, but he didn't finish. C.J. Stroud.
It's in it.
Breece Hall.
Had a good year, but not what.
Thibodeau, Oregon, who just declared for the draft.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Number 2, directional advice on what most valuable player means. Like, tell them what that means. Give it. Like, the most valuable player is not just this. Give more guidance on that.
Well, it's most outstanding.
Yeah, most outstanding.
It's most outstanding. So I think that's kind of cut and dry, the most outstanding. But I do think that people interpret that as the most outstanding is the best player on the best team. And that's not the case. That's just simply not the freaking case. But that's what it always turns into. So it does end up always being the MVP of the best team, whereas it's supposed to be the most outstanding player in college football, not the most outstanding player on the best. It's supposed to be the most outstanding player, period. That's all it's supposed to be. This is not to further reward the teams that are already scooping up everything else. Now, if the guy on Alabama, Bryce Young or whoever else, is the most outstanding player, then give him the award. But it shouldn't be because he's the quarterback of Alabama, and like all the stuff that comes into play. It's just the most outstanding player. That's it. That's all it's supposed to be.
Yeah. And number 1, less voters. If you have less of them and then you rotate it, so you could still keep 900 people voting in the Heisman Trust overall, but maybe 300 vote per year, and you have a little 3-year click. So Smokey would vote here in 2021.
I'll let that happen.
He would vote
I don't want
to
until Congress puts in things that they can cap how many different terms people
going to sacrifice their Heisman votes. Those are hard to come by. But I think the biggest things are it's dumb to award it before the postseason. That's just stupid to me. And the lack of focus on the most outstanding player, period. You just change those two things up. I think that would make a massive difference, but I don't think there's any doubt. I don't know what the ratings will be this weekend, but I have no interest in watching. And I love college football, but I have no interest because I kind of feel like we already know who's going to win it. And
well, I don't think we knew that until this past weekend.
Well, until this past, but now I've known for 3-4 days.
Yeah,
and so I know who's going to win. And quite frankly, I'm not totally content with the field and all of what we just mentioned.
Couple of real quick notes. Women's basketball, Baylor, Little Paige Bugs committed to them, signed with their class. Ariana, she's a top 20 player in the country. And remember Moon Urson? First triple-double in Tulane women's basketball history, the former Baylor player. That was a note as well. Jack McKenzie, Hayden Bumpus, Armstrong Sims for Paul Catalina, Craig Smoak. I'm David Smoak. Utah State's Blake Anderson joins us again tomorrow after their conference championship and more Good night, Sikkim 365 Radio, 365 Sports.